Here are my favourite custom campaigns for Half-Life Alyx from this year. Compliance Unconfirmed Part 1 and 2. Part 1 takes about 30 minutes and Part 2 is about an hour. Both levels feature some backtracking, but it's really well done with the way that you loop around. They look great with good pacing, and Part 2 even features some custom voice acting and multiple endings.
But the shooting is coming from behind us. Sure, but we were told specifically to watch this gate.
CITYSCAPE. This is my current favourite, where you're in City 17 and it feels like Half-Life 2. It's got some very challenging combat in places, and it's got just enough ammo, with you sometimes having to scavenge ammo from dead bodies mid-gunfight. It splits into 2 parts, but plays out as one. It features some custom assets which have been remade from Half-Life 2, and it's got some nice scripted sequences. It's going to take you about an hour, and is a must play. The Underground. This one features some really tough combat with one of the most intense zombie sections from any level. You end up in some tunnels with limited ammo and space, and panic really started to set in once I started getting surrounded. It also has some custom combine soldiers with armour, and it's another quality level which will take you about 45 minutes. PYROMANTIC Gatekeeper. This is another one of my favourites, probably in my top 3. It's about 45 minutes long and it's got custom voice work, some custom traps, new bombs that you can use with some great pacing. It looks great and it also has a strider fight, which is actually quite rare for these custom levels. It's definitely one of the best. Alyx Bond Runway Demo. As the name suggests, this is a demo for a much bigger project that's being worked on by 21 developers, and the final product sounds incredible with lots of custom enemies and guns. The demo is about 45 minutes long, it's got a really high quality feel, and my main complaint is that it feels very easy with only a small amount of combat. It also features a cool new puzzle mechanic with some pipe work. It's a good map, and it's a small glimpse at what will come from the finished level. The Dead Drop. This is another level that's based in City 17 with great atmosphere. It's got some nice sunny outdoor sections and challenging combat with the final battle in an underground car park and a strider cannon. It takes around 40 minutes to complete. Aperture VR Thinking About Portals. I've included this one, but I only recommend it if you're a fan of Portal 2 and if you want to see what it would look like in VR with Source 2 engine. It doesn't have any portals because of the limitations the modders have to work with, and it's pretty easy but it's still enjoyable, and it's nice to have a level that doesn't feel like more Half-Life Alyx. It's also short at about 15 to 20 minutes playthrough.
Well done. In fact, you did so well, I'm going to note this on your file, in the commendation section.
LOCO-MOTIVE. Another highlight of the year, this one has a train yard in the centre with a turntable that you need to activate to get out, and you have to loop around to activate the power. It has some great combine gunfights and some hard battles against antlions. I did have some performance issues outside with my CPU causing a bottleneck. I've got a Ryzen 3600, so if your CPU is better you might be okay, but performance was fine inside and it's a must play. It's also got some custom voice work from someone who does a really good job of imitating Russell. It's going to take you about 40 minutes.
Now, if we want to get this resistance thing off the ground, we're going to need supplies. Lots of them.
Gunman Contracts Chapter 1 The Extraction. It's a long name for a short level, but it's one of the best. This is a rare one with a real custom feel, including custom human enemies rather than the usual combine. It feels like you're playing through a level of Max Payne 2 with some tough combat in a bar. You have to find and extract a hostage. It's probably my second favourite map so far, which takes about 15 minutes, and it really makes you feel like John Wick. The developer is working on more levels as well, and I can't wait to see what's next. Return to Rapture. I've got to confess that I haven't actually played this one, simply because I believe that in the future we're going to see an official port of Bioshock in VR. And I want my first time visiting Rapture in VR to be the real deal, but people have given this good reviews and said it's a long one, about 8 hours to play through. I want to mention a couple other mods that aren't custom levels. Campaign Plus is a mod that revamps the main campaign, with more Combine making the game more challenging. Some enemies have armour and they've got tweaked AI to make them more aggressive. The zombies and other enemy encounters are the same. The other mod I want to mention is the Merciless Half-Life Alyx mod that tweaks all the enemies to make them more difficult. This includes removing the warning animations from head crabs so that they just jump at you without warning. Combine react faster. Antlions are faster and don't do all the flippy shit. It's how the hard mode should have been in my opinion, rather than just adding more hit points. And this one can also be used in the main campaign as well as custom levels. If you think I've missed any other mods or custom campaigns you think are worth checking out, then please let me know in the comments. Also subscribe so I feel better about myself.